Okay, the last film is Transcendence, starring Johnny Depp. The film revolves around AI, effectively. It's kind of like the Ghost in the Machine type thing, or Ghost in the Shell. Um, there is a radical group called Rift, Revolutionary Independence from Technology, where they believe that we as a race have kind of willingly imprisoned ourselves on things like social media, being online instead of chatting, that sort of stuff. And they want us to go back to the way things were, so pre-internet, effectively. Um, whereas people see this as, an invasion of privacy. That's what Rift also falls under. But then there are people who are just happy with it. You can do, as we all know, you can buy things online without having to actually go to a shop. Well, yeah, that's handy most of the time, but sometimes you just like to go for a wander and just not necessarily buy anything, just go and have a look. But the primary role around this is about artificial intelligence and what it would mean to actually build AI for real. Now, the main character is Johnny Depp's character, a guy called Will Caster, and he is one of the leading minds on artificial intelligence, him and his wife, and he is doing a talk where he talks about a thing called the singularity, but he calls it transcendence. And the singularity, from what I remember, is what would happen if an artificial life form was born, for want of a better word, not built, created, just born. And what would happen? And it turns out that it would amass the whole planet's knowledge without that much effort. It could take over the whole planet if necessary. And Rift are really against this from happening because there is a prototype called PIN. It isn't an acronym for something, but I can't remember what it is. And to stop it being activated properly, kind of like Skynet, but only less, killing everyone off. They shoot Will, and he ends up getting radiation poisoning, and eventually he dies. But before he dies, his wife and their kind of friend / colleague, they insert electrodes into Will's brain, and they use an existing pattern to download his consciousness into the PIN system. And eventually, like I said, Will dies, and they're going to turn it off when suddenly the phrase on the computer, "Is anyone there?" comes up. And from that point onward, Will is now in the computer, and he gets connected to the internet and spreads around the whole planet. And it's about how he starts to help. Now, a lot of people think, if anything like that would happen, it would always be evil, blah blah blah. Worlds would be destroyed, blah blah blah. But what if it isn't? What if it genuinely does want to help? Like in the Matrix. If any of you have ever seen the Animatrix, there's one particular one where it's talking about the rise of the machines, and there's one scene where, and this is a famous one, of the man standing in front of the tank. One of the machines does that, but gets run over, and everyone's against it. And then when the machines take over, everyone's like, "Oh no, it's them, they're all bad." But they were actually genuinely trying to help. That's the thing that everyone forgets. And in this is the same situation. So, for instance, Will and his wife, Evelyn, they end up going to a town called Brightwood, I think it's called. And they build a site, an underground site, after she becomes like a millionaire. And all these people turn up, and Will is because obviously he doesn't need to eat or sleep or drink, he can just work all the time. He's making breakthroughs in things like nanotechnology, cellular regeneration, that sort of stuff. And he's in there for a good couple of years before things start to really fall apart. And he helps loads of people. Like, for instance, I will say, a lot, he gives the person back his sight who'd been blind since birth. Yeah, he lets them see. Another man gets really badly injured. He's got ribs broken, bleeding all over the place. They inject nanites into him and cure him, and he improves him, but not to the point where he's like a cyborg. He's just, anything that was not working great, like if you had a dodgy knee, that was fixed as if it was brand, you'd never had it. And he connects everyone. It's like a giant network. But Rift come along and they're like, no, it's all bad, blah blah blah. We've got to turn it off. And in the end, Will comes back. He rebuilds his old body, brand new. And before it really hits the fan, he's speaking to his wife, and he says, "Look, I'm not actually doing anything wrong. You're the one who wanted to save the world. I'm just doing what you wanted," because he absolutely loved and doted on this woman. She was his whole world. And he was doing things like regrowing a forest, cleaning water, getting rid of all the pollutants and everything. Rift had to come in and stick their nose in and be like, nope, you can't do that because blah blah blah. You're a machine and you can't feel anything. You're not real. And at that point, the world was actually getting better. And then it doesn't. Now, this is actually a very good film for the whole Deus Ex Machina sort of argument, scenario, whatever you like to call it. Johnny Depp doesn't play a creepy character in this. He's actually very, very good. He's plain and straightforward, but he does have a funny side to him. It's not like Captain Jack type funny. But, there is a very emotional film, and it is well worth watching. So that's my last one. So I'm going to go and have some breakfast now, because it's nearly 12 o'clock, and actually, no, I don't know what I'm going to do now, apart from upload these and see if my cat's okay. So I'll be back in a couple of weeks with another set of videos. I don't know what yet, but we'll see how we go. Okay, bye.